All right, so my iPad says 3 o'clock officially. So good afternoon. Thank you all so much for joining us today for the Foundation for Black Women's Wellness Project Live Well class. We appreciate your flexibility for joining us online. I'm Irene K, and I'll be leading a workout that I like to call Side Body Love. So my intention is to open and expand the side body. Doing so will stimulate abdominal organs, stretch your total body, lengthen your spine, and really ground students in their body, I feel, because there's a couple standing poses that'll help initiate that. And one thing I really want you to do is be patient with your body and be kind to yourself through this, because these are some sensitive organs, but they're also organs that are affected heavily from stress, and this is a stressful time, and I don't feel like we address our stomachs enough, so I wanted to do a couple twists and side body exercises to really address that. So what you'll need is 2 blocks, a mat, and a blanket. If you don't have those items, I brought something similar in height, 2 blocks, which is my can that I use to hold random goods, and coconut oil. As long as you can hold on to them like this, you're fine. Instead of a blanket, you can also use a towel, and instead of a mat, practice on something soft so you don't hurt your knees. Another point I want to make, because it's hot outside, be careful with your joints. They're going to be super ready to move around, but you might not have been ready yourself to take on that movement. It might have just been the heat helping you, so be patient, again, with yourself. So here I have my blanket. This is the blanket I use for meditation. I'm just going to show you how I roll it. I fold it about 6-7 times onto itself until it's this wide and this long. Roll it up. Boom, I have something awesome to meditate on. Do the same with your blanket. If you're not interested in sitting, please lay on your mat to begin. I like to sit on the blanket like this. This is called Hero's Pose. Knees to the side of the blanket and really pushing my weight into it. This is to protect my knees. So get into your seated or laying down meditation pose and start to really take deeper breaths. Direct your breaths to your center of your abdomen, around where your rib cage ends. If you need the feedback, go ahead and put your hands on either side of your diaphragm, right in that area where you feel the lower part of your ribs. Breathe into that part. Be kind to yourself. You don't need to breathe so hard. Start directing attention, energy there. With each inhale, feeling even more expansion on the side of your body. And with exhale, maybe noticing a little bit more what just happened in that area. I feel like exhales are when I catch up with what I'm doing to my body. And inhales are really when I'm doing something to my body. That's just me. Making sure your inhales and exhale match in length. Slow and steady with your inhales and exhales. getting to a rhythm that feels right for you. And starting to let the breath flow wherever you need it right now. All the way into your pelvis, into your stomach. Or if you really feel like you just need to breathe normally, breathe normally. If you're already on your back, stay on your back. If you meditated on a seat, please join everybody else on their back. From here, bring your arms to a T. Bend your knees into your chest. Twist your knees to the right and your head to the left. Sending breath to the same area we sent breath before. If you have neck strain or neck problems, go ahead and just look at the ceiling. After all, this sequence is more about your side body. That's where I want your attention to be. Breathing there. Using your right hand to help, push your knees back up and into your chest. And then send your knees to the left, head to the right. Again, any neck issues, just go ahead and look at the ceiling. Breathing into your side body. Using your left hand to help, push your knees back up into your chest. With your knees bent, bring your feet to the ground. And then press your feet into the ground. Bring your elbows, your arms to bend. Your elbows are on the ground. Your palms are up facing one another. And start to press your low back into the mat, or whatever you're practicing on. Really engage your lower abdominal muscles. Hold this for a while. Now release. Allow there to be a mini arch right here. Now let's do that one more time. Palms facing one another, elbows to the ground. Pressing your lower back into the ground using your lower abdominal muscles to do so. Inhaling and exhaling. Making sure your shoulders are also pushed back. This is what a straight spine should feel like with your core engaged. Something we're going to visit later on as well. Now release that, come back to the arch position, mini arch. Don't force this arch. Be patient with your lower back. It's a sensitive area. We're going to do this one more time. Elbows to the ground, palms facing each other, rooting our lower back, using the power of our lower abdominals to do so. And this time release that, extend your hands above your head, and unbend your legs. Rebend the knees. Bring your hands along the side of your legs until they reach your feet. Bring your feet up so that the bottom of your feet are facing the ceiling. Push down on the feet. Happy baby pose. Okay, go back to the position we were just in, so hands above head, legs extended, and let's press onto the ground again with our lower back, using the power of our lower abdominals, and begin to lift our hands into the air, palms facing one another, similar to before, but now we're going to a full expression. Power coming from rooting our shoulders and rooting our core. Begin to look forward at your toes. Curl all the way up. Touch your toes if you can. And if that was too much for you, I'm going to show the modified version now. Going back, my knees are bent, and I'm running my hands along my legs. Curling my spine, and then the last thing that's touching the ground is my head. I'll do the modified version one more time. Hands above head. Hands facing each other, reaching for the sky. Now my hands, when they start to reach my hips, my head also becomes engaged and looks towards my toes. I begin to climb up the side of my legs to basically a full push-up. Touching wherever I can touch, and then slowly coming back down. We're going to do this 2 more times. Pick whichever version you'd like. I like a lot of challenges, so I'm going to do this version, but please modify if you need to. At your own pace. Curling my spine when I come down. Okay. Now, once you've done your final set, I want you to do another happy baby. So bring your hands on your legs to meet your feet. Bring your feet to face the ceiling. Press down on the feet. You can rock your baby side to side if you like. Okay. Go ahead and release that. Extend your hands above your head. Knees unbent once again. And bring yourself into a small ball. Holding your knees into your chest. Once again, extend out. Maybe hovering the hands and feet this time if you want a little ab challenge. Remember the same things from before apply. Where you need to press your low back down, shoulders back. But if you don't want the challenge, go ahead and just enjoy the stretch. Legs on the ground, hands on the ground, and extend. Do this 2 more times, please. Extend. Small ball. One last time. Extend. Come into a small ball. Although it should have helped your core. Okay, from here, bring your knees to the ground. Bring your feet to the ground, knees bent. And either do as you did before and walk up the legs, curling up. Or knees bent, feet in the air, not on the mat. And curl up into boat. Hold this. Keep breathing. Keep that spine long, the way we did that earlier. Lower abs engaged, shoulders back, spine long. You got this. Okay, bring your feet down to the ground. And whatever you're using, a block or a blanket, we're gonna sit on that. And come into crisscross applesauce. Yes, I still say crisscross applesauce. From here, inhale, bring your hands up to the sky. Exhale, twist to the right, bringing your left hand to your right knee, your right hand. Kind of cupped like this, TP'd, as some would say, behind you. Twist to the right. Now, right now I'm not being a good example. Your chin should match where your neck is, should match where your spine is. And then you should breathe. And as you breathe, that's how you get deeper into the twist. You shouldn't force yourself fully into the full expression. Make sure your chin matches your neck, matches your spine. Inhale, hands up into the air. Twist to the left, bringing your right hand to your left knee, keeping the hand that goes behind. Same thing applies. Chin matches neck, neck matches the rest of the spine. Inhale, hands up into the sky. Exhale, hands meet heart center. How I like to transition into cat-cow from here is to just bring my hands forward and my feet behind me. If that doesn't work for your body, just somehow get into all fours. Whatever way works for you. From here, curl your spine so that you're attempting to get your forehead to touch your stomach, basically. Now, curl your spine. It attempts to get the top of your head to touch your bum. Gently, of course. Exhaling while you curl back the other direction. Inhaling. Cow. Facing up. Continue with this motion. Exhaling as you curl in and looking down. Inhaling as you curl up. It's another tip that I want you to keep for the rest of the practice. If you ever get lost, generally when you're opening up your chest, inhale. When you're closing in your chest, exhale. Awesome. Bring your spine to a neutral position. Bring your hand, one handprint forward. So wherever you were before, at least one handprint. Bring your pointer fingers to point forward, making kind of a loser-loser sign with your hands. So you should see when you look down. Fingers spread as wide as possible. And if you can, grip your fingers as well. From here, you should be in a modified plank. Now lower yourself down to the mat. And come into a cobra. So hands are in the same position as before. Should be in line with your chest. Shoulders should be back. Breathing deeply, exhaling to come down to the mat. Push from your hands back to modified plank. And then back into child's pose. We're gonna do all three of these moves again. So inhale, come into modified plank, remembering the hand foundations. Another note, elbows should be pointed towards your knees, always. So not this, this. It's another thing with hand alignment. Come back down into the ground. Come into cobra. Shoulders back. Holding yourself up with the power of your hands and your core. Push back into child's pose. So that's a modified version of the flow. Now we're going to use everything that I've showed you so far, all the different foundation techniques that I showed you so far, to do a full flow. So come back into modified plank. Bring your toes, flex your feet under you and bring your toes as close as possible to your knees. Like pretend you're trying to really make your toes reach your knees. And then from there, bring the power towards to your feet instead of to your knees. Hold the plank. Bring a heavy bend to your knees. And then bring your chest closer to the mat. Downward facing dog with bent knees. Why I encourage bent knees? I don't know if you've used your hamstrings today. I don't want you to hurt yourself. So just bend those knees for me. Even if you know you're strong enough to handle it, just to warm up your muscles. Don't surprise them. And when you feel ready, start walking your feet. Okay, now let's shift our weight back forward into a plank. You'll be going into modified plank if you don't want to do a full chaturanga, but chaturanga, bring yourself down to your 90-degree angle with your arms matches your torso. So what I mean by that is right here, they're in line with one another. Coming into upward facing dog. And back to down dog. Here, lift your heels into the air and twist your feet to the left. This is where hand foundations come in handy. Hold yourself up. You should feel a side body stretch on your right side body. Feet back to center. Now lift your heels again. Twist your toes to the left. Heels are going to the right. And you should be experiencing a stretch on your left side body. Come back to center. Bring yourself back to a plank. Lower the knees. Come into a child's pose. To kill two birds with one stone, in this child's pose, go ahead and roll out your wrists. So move them in one direction and then the other. If you haven't noticed, I'm already sweating. So excuse me while I wipe that. Okay. Roll out the wrists. Breathe deeply. We did just a little bit, but it was a lot for your body. And really check in with what changed, what's new. Okay. On your next inhale, bring yourself back to a plank. Remembering the hand foundations and the placement of the elbow. Deep bend in the knees. Bring yourself to a bent knee. Down dog. Inhale your right leg up. Oops, I dropped one of my paintings on myself. Straight behind you. You shouldn't have any twist in the hip from the hip, so your toes should be facing straight down. Bend that knee into your chest and come into a lunge. Now from this, I want you to take your blocks and bring them on both sides of you. The knee that is touched the ground, attempt to almost like kick the ground with your knee. That'll start a stretch along the front side of your thigh. And just hang out with that sensation for a while, keeping your toes engaged behind you. That way, if your toes are engaged, your ankles engaged, your knee is safe. Hang out with this sensation for a little bit longer. And then on your next inhale, extend your left hand up and over to the right. Encouraging an even deeper stretch on your left side body. You can bring your hand to your head if you'd like. All right, now lower your hand down back into the block, or whatever prop you chose to bring. I'm going to bring my blocks closer to my foot. I'll give myself a hamstring stretch now, so unbending the knee. And try and square off the hips. What that requires is bringing your right hip back and your left hip a little forward. Really engaging my toes right now. They're really spread out. And I'm not hyperextending my knee. There's a little bend there. Protect your joints. You need them for a while. If that's too much for you, try and alternate between lunge to this hamstring stretch. Okay? Now bring your hands down to the mat. Come back into plank. Chaturanga into upward facing dog. And bring yourself back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Make sure that your toes are pointed down. No rotation of the hip yet. We'll introduce that later. Right now, get strong in what's basic. Build your foundations. Awesome. Thanks for holding that for as long as you did. Bring your knee into your chest, and then bring your foot down to the mat. Exact same sensations, other side. Maybe you learned something new this time, though, so I'll just talk through it again. You're going to act like you're trying to dig your knee into the ground, kind of kicking it forward, like kind of scooting it, like as if you want rug burn, but you don't. Be kind to yourself. That'll really help this whole area stretch. Hang out with that sensation for a little bit. Making sure you're breathing. It's like being a guest in someone's house. Introducing air to the area is like bringing wine over to a friend's house. Yeah. You're being kind about your presence there. All right, now let's inhale. Bring our right hand to the sky. Exhale. Bring your right hand to the left side of your body. Inducing side body stretch to the right. Release that, bring your hands back to the blocks. Bring the blocks closer to your feet. And now extend that leg, squaring off the hips, meaning send this hip back in space, sending the bent knee forward in space, and really flexing these toes, engaging my ankle, thus engaging my knee, thus protecting my body. Again, if that's too much, just holding one, just alternate between the two. As long as you wake up the area. Awesome, good job, guys. Let's go back into our plank. Let's chaturanga. Let's go back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg into the sky. Exhale, bring your knee towards the chest. Put your foot on the ground. Low lunge one more time. From here, so you're in a low lunge, right? I want you to take your foot out to the side. As such, being careful about the internal and external rotation of your foot. So only move it externally. Should be inside gate. From here, walk your hands to your other foot. The foot's not extended. Get used to this sensation. If it's too much for you, bring a block. Probably what you need. Now extend your right hand up into the sky. Breathe deeply. Good job. On your next exhale, twist through your abdomen and bring your left hand to the sky and your right hand down instead this time. So even deeper side body stretch for my body. Might be nothing to those who often use this area. Be kind to yourself, be gentle. Who knows what muscle needed some love, you know? All right. Bring your right hand back to the sky. Bring your right hand back to the ground. Bring your hands in front of you. Bring your leg back to meet your left leg. And then bring your one hand print forward. Modified plank or full plank, whatever you've been doing this whole time. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Same thing other side. Lift your left leg to the sky. Toes pointed down. Knee to chest. Foot to the mat. I'm going to do this from this angle so you see what I'm doing. All right. So I'm only allowing my leg to open this way, making sure I'm being nice to my hips. So lift, kick. Be kind to them hips. And then now walk your hands to the right side of your body. Bring a block there if you found that you needed that support earlier. I like the support. And then lift your left hand into the sky. This is the side that just had a little intense stretch. Be nice to it. Breathe into it. Take it slow. On your next exhale, twist and bring your right hand up to the sky. Oh yeah. Take it stretch right here. Pull it. And next inhale, bring your left hand back to the sky, then to the ground. Bring your hands in front of you again. Left leg meets the right leg. One hand in front of you. Modify to regular plank. Chaturanga to cobra. Up dog. And then downward facing dog. Good job, guys. If you need a break, bring your knees down. Come into a child's pose. For all you folks that decided to stay in down dog for a little bit longer, join us in child's pose. Send the breath to your lower back. Even if it's just thought and you can't feel it yet, just send energy to your lower back. Inhale, bring your hands to the left to induce a side stretch on your right side body. Again, being kind by breathing and easing into the pose. Inhale, bring yourself back center. Okay, next inhale. Bring your arms to the right of your mat. Gently easing into the pose and breathing deeply. You feel the stretch armpit area, chest area, with the side of it. Back center. And bring yourself to all fours. And a cat-cow again. So feel your spine in and exhale. Inhale, curl your spine the other direction. Chest forward, looking up. And exhale, look down. Curl inward. Now hold your cat, so hold the position where you're curled inward. And TP your hands. Give some love to your upper back. Maybe start swaying side to side. Your hips and your shoulders going in opposite directions or the same. Just induce some movement here. Range of motion is important for the joints as well. And do a little bit of work with that. Okay, start to like move in a circle. So that circle includes going between cats and cows with your spine. Helical movement where your head and your hips match each other's movement. So as I bring my hips up, my head's coming up with it. All right, whatever direction you decided to do that in, begin going the other direction. Awesome. Don't force it. If you're not ready to introduce range of motion in a particular area, don't force it. Okay, neutral spine. Whew. Let's go back into our plank. Deep bend in the knees, down dog. And then let's bring our hands to meet our feet. Walk backwards to meet your feet. Woo. Feet foundation time. I bring myself a little forward so you can see me. Okay, so with your feet, you want to make sure that your big toe and your little toe are rooted. Not necessarily the toe parts, but these mounds right here. As well as your heel. Spread your toes wide like you did with your hands. And your feet should be 2 of your fists away from one another. Slight bend in the knees. That cuts off the energy to the rest of your body. Intense hamstrings. Oh yeah. Okay. Now stand up. Hands above head. Inhaling and exhaling as you bring your hands to the center of your chest. Remembering those feet foundations we set earlier, right? So now shift your weight into your right foot. Kickstanding the left foot. A little bit of weight still in it, not a lot. Now begin to either kickstand at an angle as such, so your knee is pointed outward, about a 90-degree angle between your 2 knees. Start to bring your foot up against your leg. Never on the knee, just wherever it works for you. Good job, guys. If you're having a hard time balancing, go ahead and bend that knee with standing legs. Awesome. Bring that leg down. Not all the way down though. TP it. Ease yourself out of 100% to 20% to 30% on your right foot. So both feet taking on 50-50. Stomp it out a little bit. I wish I had danceable music on, but I don't. Let's just make it up in your head. All right. Hands up into the sky. Bending at the knees and the hips. Ending up in another forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up. Hands in the sky. Exhale. Hands to heart center. This time, let's focus our energy on the left foot. And then bring those feet foundations. Big toe, little toe, heel. Slight bend in the knee if you need it. Kickstanding the right leg. And beginning to slide it up the leg at wherever you are at. As long as you do not put the foot on the knee. Having a hard time balancing. A little bend in that standing leg. Good job, y'all. Okay, begin to lower the right foot. About 10% of your weight is in the right foot. The rest is in the left. Then 20 in the right. 30 in the right. Until you're 50-50. Stomp it out a little bit. Okay, you should still be at the back of your mat. So now inhale your hands up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Feet foundations. And as you walk your hand out, hand foundations. Walk them out, walk them out. Now you're in plank. Let's chaturanga and meet back in down dog, please. Nice. All right, inhale your right leg up. Toes facing ground. Exhale, knee to chest. Foot on the ground. Should be in lunge. You can either extend up with your hands or bring your hands to heart center. Begin to tilt your torso forward. So the back leg and your torso are in a straight line with one another from your top of your head to your toes. Locate your blocks. You will need them. You're going to kick off the back leg and up into warrior three. This is why I emphasize toes down earlier, because you're going to need to really force yourself to toes down in this position. Your left toes are pointing down to the ground, helping out your hips. Don't hurt them. Your standing leg, if you need to, bend that knee, and make sure your toes are spread wide and you're rooted in those areas I mentioned before. Big toe, little toe, and heel. Most importantly, just breathe. Awesome. Now bring that foot, the left foot to meet the right. Forward fold. Root the hands. Go back into plank. Chaturanga, upward dog. Downward facing dog. Okay, so we're gonna do the other side. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Oh, yes, left leg. Toes pointing down. Left knee to chest. Foot to the ground. Lunge. Inhale, lift. Your torso up. In any type of position where your legs have a slight bend, make sure you can still see your toes and that you're at about a 90-degree angle. Okay, now lean your torso forward. Your back leg and your torso and your head are in line. They're making a straight line with one another. Locate those blocks again. Kick off the back leg. Come into warrior three. Toes pointed down. 3 corners of the feet engaged. Slight bend in the knee if you need it. Now, this is not standing split. I don't want you to like care about if your foot is as high as it possibly can be. I just want you to really pull your toes down and be strong in the standing leg. Okay, bring the right foot to meet the left. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And then come back into plank. Chaturanga. And downward facing dog. Bring your knees down. Go into child's pose. You just did a lot to your hips. Do you feel it? Awareness is number one when it comes to mindfulness, so when I tell you to notice, it's just practice for awareness, for mindfulness. Okay. Inhale, come back into a plank position. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Exhale, knee to the chest. Twist your back leg so that it is no longer parallel with the front leg. It is facing out in this direction. Warrior two legs. Inhale, bring your right hand up to the sky. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, bring your right hand to the ground, left hand to the sky. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale. Good job. Bring your hands to the ground. Bring your feet back until you get it back into plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Other side. Lift your left leg to the sky. Knee to chest. Foot to the ground. Warrior two legs. Come in warrior two. Remember from earlier, you gotta see your toes. Make sure you got that deep bend so you're at least 90 degrees. Inhale, left hand to the sky. Exhale, left hand to the ground. If the ground is too far from you, this is a block situation. If it takes you out of alignment, it's a block situation. Awesome. Now bring your right hand to the ground. Go back into plank. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog. All right, so from here, right leg to the sky. Come back into warrior two legs, warrior two position. Now this is where your blocks come in handy. I hope you left them where they were before. Reach for your block. Keep your foot in warrior two position, your back foot especially. Don't start to flop it all around. We're gonna kick off of it. It's gonna stay at that turn where your hips are externally rotated here. Bring your left hand to the sky. I find that pushing my right shoulder forward makes sure that my chest stays open in this pose. If it's hard for you to balance, 2 things to consider. Don't have your block directly under you, put it behind you. You're not ready for the full expression yet. That's fine, I'm not either. Look at me, it's behind me. Awesome. Deep bend in the front knee, which should help you bring your foot back down to the ground to warrior two. Cartwheel it down. Back to plank. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Other side. Left leg to the sky. Bend the left leg. Left foot face the hands. Warrior two placement with the feet. Warrior two. Locating that block, wanting it behind me. Okay. I'm tilting by bending the front knee and releasing my weight from the back leg. I'm kicking off, making sure my knee and my right foot are in line with, I'd say it's facing the wall behind me. Right hand to the sky. These are times I wish I could see you. It's interesting to instruct. I bet you're all doing amazing. Keep holding the pose, remembering the feet foundations. If you keep falling down, remember, keep the block behind you, not directly under you. Hold it for a little bit longer. Awesome. Bend that knee. Put the right foot back down on the ground. Come back into plank. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog. And bring your hands to meet your feet. Forward fold. Put your feet at a slight angle, outward and wider than before. Drop your hips down. Malasana, yoga squat. If this is too much for you, especially if it's because of your knees, put a blanket or a block under your bum. Takes all the pressure off your knees. Okay, stand back up. Should be the back of your mat, so walk yourself out to plank. Bring yourself to modified plank. And then bring yourself to child's pose. All right. Back onto all fours. Get onto your back whichever way you find comfortable. Knees bent, feet on the ground. Back into the same position we were in before, so palms facing each other, elbows are on the ground. We're gonna do the full expression of the pose now. This time for a stretch, not for strength. So if you need something under your bum, go ahead and put a blanket or a block there. If you'd like to just do the expression without any modifications, go ahead and engage your lower abdominals. Prepare your mind to put power into your legs. Don't let the power come from your glutes. Your quads, hamstrings, that's what's lifting you up, not your glutes. Let them be free. And your core, once that's all set up, lift your bottom into the sky. Go into bridge pose. Don't clench your butt. I know you want to. Awesome, now lower back down. I'm gonna do that 2 more times. If you are capable of doing a wheel, go ahead and go into wheel. If you don't know how to do that, I'm not instructing wheel, but if that's a pose that's comfortable for you, go ahead and do that instead. Round 2 of bridge, whenever you're ready. Power coming from the thighs and the core, not the bum. So we'll break down. And more rounds. Engaging my abdominals and my legs. Lifting my hips up. Awesome. Lower your bum. Breathe. Just hang out in this pose for a little bit. Now bring your feet to the edge of your mat. Bring your knees to touch. Breathe. Awesome. Now, either goal post your arms, so mimicking how a goal post in football, I don't know, probably football, looks with your arms. Legs are in the same position. Bring your knees to the right, head to the left. If you have neck problems, please just keep looking at the ceiling. Awesome. Use your right hand to help you bring your knees up. Feet still wide on the mat, knees still together, hanging out like this for a little bit. And then at your own pace, bring your knees to the left. Great. All right, using your left hand to help you bring your knees back center. Your feet back to a normal position. Might need your blocks for this next move. We're gonna bring our bottom of our feet to touch, our knees wide. Butterfly legs hanging out. It led to our hips today.
People give their ears, so I be sublime. It's enjoyable to know you in the concubine. Niggas, take off your coats, ladies act like Jim. Sit down, idiot style, so you sight this now. See, lyrically, I'm Mario and JD on the Lomo. Who the bitch was Speedy? Or bitches with slow-mo. Heard me in the 80s, 80s, so the whole way. I never in the rest to get the paper on the paper, but now, let me take it to the clean side. I'm taking it to Brooklyn side. All the residents to invade the air. Hold on a second, son, cause we almost there. You could be a black man and lose all your soul. You could be white and good, but don't crack the road. See, my shit is universal.
All right, whenever you're ready, use your hands to help you close your legs. Move your props out of the way if you use them. Come into the final resting pose, laying on your back. Shavasana.
So give me the floor and let's not make it the last. Back in '89, I simply slid in the place. Buddy, all up in your face. A lot of kids was busting around, but they had no taste. So that breath was whack, but now is that the case? I have the words to have a mic in my hand. Without that, it's like Kryptonite and Superman. So Shaheed come in with the sugar cut. Like what's my name, but on stage call me Dynamite. When was the last time you heard the mic sloppy? Live bricks anonymous, you never hear me copy. Top notch, baby, never coming less. Got the limit, you got to believe up the quest. Sit back, relax, get up off the bed, not back, hit the dance floor, come move that ass. Non-believer, you can check this test. I wrote a shot.
Whenever you're ready, start to introduce moving into your feet and your fingers. Start to blink your eyes open. You did it. 60 minutes. Start to bring yourself to one side or the other. Laying in fetal position. Resting on the hand that's on the bottom. And push yourself up into a seated position. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your willingness to be flexible and join us online for our Project Live Well workout. Don't forget to follow the Foundation for Black Women Wellness on Facebook. And I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Please go outside, take a walk. It's a great day. And thanks for joining us today. Namaste.